going, everyone? It's Thomas from the Sports Card Show, and today I'm going to talk about my NFL Week 1 sports card recap. So, basically, what I think I'm going to do with this series is basically just go over it after every week and take a look at the games and see how the different games basically are going to affect sports card values. Obviously, this will probably be one of the most important weeks because it's Week 1, so obviously a lot changes after Week 1 because people overreact. But I thought I would just quickly go over some of the highlights, some of the most important games, and some of the players that you should definitely be looking out for. So, as far as big news goes, these are the two biggest stories, in my opinion, that I think you should look out for as far as card value goes. The first one is the Bengals sucked. The Bengals were terrible, and Joe Burrow played very poorly. And so, this could definitely be a time to buy Joe Burrow cards if you believe that he's going to have a good season. But let's hope he does because after this week, I wouldn't feel so confident betting on the Bengals. So definitely, if you guys weren't able to watch the game, I think there were five turnovers in the first half. I think his first throw was a pick six. Uh, Pretty rough start for the Bengals season. On the flip side of that, however, the Chicago Bears upsetted the 49ers. Now, something that's very interesting about this game that most of you probably understand if you follow sports cards is that these were two second-year quarterbacks basically with their first starts as starting quarterbacks. So Justin Fields for the Bears and Trey Lance for the 49ers. Trey Lance struggled. I don't think he even had over 150 yards passing for the game. And Justin Fields also didn't do great, but he was able to take them back from, I think, a two-score deficit and come back and they won. So that's definitely big. So definitely Trey Lance cards going down, Justin Fields cards going up. So that's something to look for. Don't know if that's going to last. We'll definitely have to see how the seasons play out. But as of right now, definitely look to see that Trey Lance cards are going to fall and Justin Fields cards are going to go up. And I will definitely post a recap video here in a couple days to see because it might take a couple days for the sports card values to really settle in. But as far as Burrow goes, his stuff seems to be sitting okay right now. But we will see as far as the next upcoming days how that withholds. So let's just go over the games too briefly here. So the Chargers versus the Raiders. I wrote down a couple of the games here. So Chargers versus Raiders. I think Herbert threw for like 300 yards, three TDs, pretty solid. Nothing crazy, nothing bad. Pretty much what you'd expect from a Week 1 for the Chargers. Um, but they were able to get the dub. The Raiders looked pretty bad. Derek Carr looked pretty rough. This one was crazy. Packers v Vikings. I think Aaron Rodgers is definitely missing some of his receivers. I think he's definitely missing Devontae Adams. Vikings definitely had Justin Jefferson. Probably going to take a nice bounce this week as in his card values. Still a pretty present player. And he did very well. Had two touchdowns and like 200 yards receiving, which is really, really good for a receiver. Titans Giants, nothing crazy really going on there, at least for sports card values, that is. Sorry, let me expand this. Another one to keep in mind, Bills versus Rams. No one really cares about Matthew Stafford cards, so that doesn't really take a difference. Cam Akers did bad, but he's a running back, so his values probably aren't very high anyway. Definitely Josh Allen cards going to be taking a bounce. People are definitely getting hyped about Josh Allen, so Josh Allen cards are on the way up. God, they're already so high though. Saints versus Falcons. It was a very close game. I didn't actually get a chance to watch that one. It's interesting. I don't know why it says they tied. Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm stupid. The last one's tied. Steelers Bengals game, like I said before, three missed field goals in a row, pretty rough. Bears 49ers, kind of same deal. That's not what I wanted to do. Eagles versus Lions. So obviously, as you guys may know, I have a nice little stack here of pretty high end Hurts cards. And that was a very difficult game to watch as a Eagles fan. I think that Jalen Hurts did pretty well. I think they struggled offensively, whereas I think that Jalen Hurts did pretty well for the amount of pressure that he was getting from Aiden Hutchinson and the other defensive ends that were absolutely just wide open, not getting blocked whatsoever. So Jalen Hurts did pretty well with that. Ravens Jets. I think Lamar Jackson had a really good game. Dolphins, that was definitely a big one. I think that, let's see, I wrote down this. So, Mac Jones, 213 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception, not great. Kind of rough for Mac Jones. However, on the flip side, take a look here. Dolphins, Tua, 1 TD, 270 yards. Not too bad. Not too bad. And definitely a surprising game. I think a lot of people would expect that the Patriots would win, but overall as a team, it looks like the Dolphins are able to pull something off. As far as Jags go, this one I think is definitely really crazy because if you think about it, Carson Wentz completely fell off from where he was. Being on the Eagles and then, injury and other things going on, kind of fell under the radar. No one really paying attention to him. So the fact is, though, is he threw for 313 yards and 4 TDs. He didn't have 2 picks, but that's pretty solid for Carson Wentz. That's better than Herbert. Um, and Trevor Lawrence also had a pretty good game. Threw for 275 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Not too bad. Definitely the biggest player this week, I think had more yards than Josh Allen, would be Patrick Mahomes, absolutely destroying the Cardinals. He threw for 360 yards and 5 TDs and no interceptions. Probably definitely the best quarterback coming out of this week. Um, yeah, and then the Buccaneers game just finished. Nothing crazy going on. A lot of field goals. Brady looked pretty good, but the nothing really crazy going on in that game. Dak Prescott did look like he had a minor injury. Going into next week, definitely the biggest games to look forward to would be Chargers Chiefs, Thursday night game. That'll be really big. Another one I would look for, Patriots Steelers, Dolphins Ravens will also be big as far as card movements go. Um, let's see, other ones. Bears, Packers. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out. If the Bears put up a fight against the Packers, that would be big. Um, yeah, there's not that many crazy games this week compared to the to last week, so looks like pretty solid. Definitely biggest things to look for as far as market changes. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes cards going to keep going up. Burrow cards on the way down. Trey Lance cards on the way down. Um, definitely some players need to make some improvement. We really have hoped for Hurts to do a little bit better than he did. Didn't do too bad though. Um, did pretty well. Had almost 100 yards rushing, which is pretty impressive, and a rushing TD. So that's pretty good. Unfortunately, kind of have to keep in mind that people really look for throwing stats, so that is a downside. But I'm really hoping that he becomes, a kind of a Lamar Jackson figure. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Kind of just a quick recap here of the week, as far as for sports cards and how they have to do with the games. So look for Burrow stuff. I mean, if you're going to buy Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes stuff, this is probably the cheapest it's going to be, unless either of the teams tank, which probably won't be. But this will probably be the cheapest. I would wait maybe a week or two to buy, but that's probably the next week or two is probably the cheapest you're going to get it, because otherwise after that it's just going to keep going up. Um, Actually, I would even say like a week. If you could buy stuff, give about a week now. Maybe look till like Friday this week. Posting this late Monday, so sorry, early Monday. So yeah, keep that in mind. Uh, yeah, those would be the best guys. Lamar Jackson would be a good guy to pick up, but definitely Joe Burrow would definitely be my sleeper pick as far as best sports cards to buy. And if his cards do take a dip, I'm expecting a little bit of dip. We'll see how big it's going to be because this is obviously a very short window, but I think that they're going to do pretty well for the rest of the season, so now would be a great time to buy. So thank you guys for watching this video, my quick recap from this week. I've definitely been posting some more videos, doing a deeper dive into the Joe Burrow cards and some other ones, see if they're actually going up or going down. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.